the top 10 small forwards in NBA history. At number 10, we have Dominique Wilkins. Please just go watch a highlight tape of Dominique attacking the rim. There aren't many players I've seen that dunk the ball harder than him. The human highlight reel wasn't just highlights though, as he had multiple 30 points per game seasons and a second-place MVP finish in 1986. Number 9, Rick Barry. Rick Barry could flat out hoop. A Finals MVP in 1975 and the owner of the record for the highest points per game in the Finals. And if he wasn't such a jerk and didn't refuse to shoot in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, there's a good chance he would have won another final in 1976. Number 8, Scottie Pippen. The greatest Robin of all time. Michael Jordan's defense gets brought up constantly, but to me, Pippen was the defensive maestro, and for my money, the best defensive wing in NBA history, not to mention his solid scoring and playmaking. Number 7, John Havlicek. Hondo was a criminally underrated superstar in the 60s. You could argue, especially in 69, he was a better player than Russell, and then throughout the 70s, he was a massive star for those Celtics teams in 74 and 76. Number 6, Elgin Baylor. The greatest player or the second greatest player to not win a ring, depending on your Charles Barkley thoughts, Elgin Baylor was the first of those hyper-athletic wings in NBA history. Number 5, Kawhi Leonard. The owner of the clutchest shot in non-finals history. Kawhi's defense has become a bit overrated in the past couple years, but when he was at his peak athleticism years, he was probably the best two-way wing ever, save maybe number 1 on this list. Number 4, Dr. J. You know how I said Elgin Baylor was the first hyper-athletic wing in NBA history? Well, Dr. J took that and cranked up the nozzle to 10. The high-flying athleticism he managed in the 70s and early 80s was a sight to see. Number 3, Kevin Durant. A super unfairly treated player due to his Warriors decision, and in my opinion, he's the second greatest scorer of all time, just behind Michael Jordan. Number 2, Larry Bird. The coldest white boy of all time. Larry Bird had one of the greatest peaks ever from 1984 to 1988. Number 1, LeBron James. At the very worst, he's the second greatest player of all time, and he's obviously the greatest small forward ever. He has unprecedented athleticism, intelligence, and longevity.